Well, I'm Robert Pike Daniel, and I play the token bad dude, Shaemus. I'm from Los Angeles, and we're up here in beautiful Mount Shasta shooting this thing. It's been a lot of fun. Great crew to work with. Great storyline. And we've just had a lot of fun. Being up here and being on the mountain is, it's corny to say special, but it is. It's tremendously beautiful, but in a very kind of, you know, you think, oh, I'm at one with nature. You might be at one with nature, but I'm very aware of the fact that there's not one tree here that's even aware of me being around here. It's very, I mean, this is nature getting on with its thing. And you're fortunate enough if you can get this close and just look at it. It's spectacular. It is special. Some folks talk about the spirituality of the area. If it is spiritual, then it's spiritual to me in a very subjective way, but not in a heavily overt way. It's certainly not Los Angeles. I've been into the town itself several times, and what's so fascinating about it is when you live in the big cities in America, you don't go out into the countryside, into the small towns often enough, because that's when you realize that's where America is. It's not in the big cities, it is in the small towns, it is in the main street of Shasta and the main street of Weed, which have this quaintly dated feel to it. Then you see what America really is and is all about. So that's real special, and that's been a very nice part of this trip. It's been great. I mean, the first time I met Jerry was at the rehearsal. No, not the rehearsal, the audition. And Jerry was sitting on the couch, and he asked me to make a little adjustment, and that was the first time I ever heard him speak. And then at the end of that, he said, "Would I mind waiting to read with a couple of the guys who are auditioning for the part of Shaemus's son?" So I did. And by the time I left, I had very little notion of who Jerry was and what he was. All I knew was he'd written this thing and was about to direct it. Then I heard no more, and I saw that they were having callbacks. So I thought, well, I didn't make it. Then I heard a couple of weeks later from Susan called and said that I had been cast. So I was pleased with that. And ever since then, it's been a kind of progression. He's working with Jerry. He wrote the script, so he obviously has a very clear idea in his mind of what this story is that he concocted and that he is now directing. And it's an interesting process having to try and deduce what that is, because at the end of the day, it's not about what I want to do or say. It's about what is Jerry trying to say and how can I serve him in that. It's like painting with numbers, you know. If I'm brown sienna, then they're about to shoot again, so... Well, back again, just to finish that thought. In this instant, as an actor, it doesn't serve the story well for me to try and go off intellectually into who is Shaemus, what is Shaemus, what do I want to make Shaemus be. It really is, what did Jerry think of originally? What was this character in his head? Who was he? So it really is a question of trying to go in search of what is between Jerry's ears and figure that out. He can't tell me exactly, and I can't get into his head. It kind of, you know you're in the ballpark when Jerry doesn't grimace or come up and give you loads of notes after a take. If you don't get notes after a take, you were there. You were where? You're not sure. But that's kind of how the process works. And, you know, at the end of the day, you just hope that by the time you pack up and go home, he got what he was looking for in that particular character. It cannot be because he's never met me before. It cannot be exactly the person he first thought of. But as long as all of those elements come together and he ends up with the story he was trying to tell in the first place, then we, I think, have served our purpose. That's about as best as I can talk about what I'm trying to do here.
Big moment, and you walk on stage.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Guys, we have one setup on this scene. The kids in the car after lunch.
We're over. Yeah. Good one. Good one.
One setup or two? That's lunch.
That's my man. That's my man. I'm finished. It's all over.